Howdy folks, man, it is hot in Texas today. Yeah, I think we have a heat wave alert, something like that. Anyway, I was working on some projects early this morning. I was working on some Christmas display stuff. Yeah, you start that now so that by Christmas it's ready. Yeah, and I had to cut something specific, and I thought, well, you know, really the only way to cut it would be a jigsaw. Now, I absolutely hate jigsaws. That's the one tool in the whole shop. I almost refuse to pick it up and use it. And this is the only jigsaw I own right now, is this one right here, the Ryobi. And it just lays around here so that I do have a jigsaw. Not that I want to put any money into a jigsaw. So anyways, started trying to cut with this thing. Same old, miserable. It was going to take forever. It was, you know, it's rattly, it jumps, it vibrates a lot. So I borrowed one. And yeah, here's what I borrowed. This is an old one, but you know, it's a good heavy corded model, Bosch, and it did the job beautifully. In fact, it did it so well that I thought, you know what, I would not mind owning this jigsaw as opposed to that stinking Ryobi jigsaw. It's like, my problems with the Bosch is mostly I don't like the way the blade is locked in and how you have to install it, but other than that, it's powerful, it's very fast, it has a good high speed, it's very solid, doesn't vibrate or jump around, and you can sit there and guide it really nicely, you know, and make the cut, which I needed, so I was really happy about that. But this sort of thing, it's really a shame because it gives you and me a really bad taste for jigsaws, you know, altogether. And I go back to the old days when we had the old metal, you know, Black & Decker ones and stuff. You remember those maybe if you're old enough. And they were, you know, high speed, loud, noisy, and vibrated a lot and stuff. Of course, so does that. Yeah. And Bosch does make some very good tools. So does Milwaukee, Makita. There's lots of good brand names out there. I've always leaned towards Bosch because I've always found that their power tools have been very solid. I also like Rigid for certain tools, but this here has just been one of those things where, you know, if you're going to buy a jigsaw, you should probably avoid a battery, and you should probably avoid Ryobi. Yeah, I can't recommend anybody buy Ryobi anything these days. I don't like them. They're cheap tools. It's kind of like walking into Harborfreight and saying, what's the cheapest one you got? Oh, this one here. Oh yeah, okay, great. Gonna show you what I got at a yard sale though. Let's take a quick look at my $2. So we'll have a look. It's Craftsman. Yeah, anything with the logo Craftsman on it. I get a weak spot sometimes for the old Craftsman stuff, and I have to have it. This thing is in really bad shape. I think it was $2, so it was like, well, you know, for $2, I guess I'll take it. I don't even really need a sit-down stool, but every once in a while they're kind of handy to have, depending on, you know, what level you're working at. This one here, for some reason, the plastic's all busted out of the bottom of it, and I got the crazy idea, you know, I got a 3D printer, I'll just make something new. What I didn't think of at the time was that the bed size of my 3D printers, yeah, we don't have one that's quite that big. Yeah, we're close, but we're not that big. And so I'll put this on hold because I am hoping to get a 3D printer in that will be able to do this size. In fact, I'll get a tape measure on this so I can show you what size it is. Okay, we're back with a tape measure here, and it's, wow, it's not bad. It's 14 inches. Now, oh boy, what is that in centimeter, millimeter, whatever. 14 inches, this 14 inches across, and it would be about, see, it's hard to tell. I'm going to take a guess at it and say it's about a 14¼ back here. I don't even know if we can, yeah, it looks like Allen keys or something, so we can probably get these screws, yep, get them out of there, I think. Yep, and get the wheels off of her to change this piece out of there and replace this with some PLA, you know, make a new one. The seat is in good shape actually, which, you know, it looks, I mean, it's filthy. Yeah, it's pretty dirty, but again, yard sale stuff, you know, this is kind of like the way I like to get it sometimes for a couple or $1 or whatever, and that way I can start with something that I can clean up and fix. The other thing to check, of course, on something like this would be the wheels. And the wheels have run over stone, and I don't know what else they've been over, but they're really chewed up pretty good, but they all still roll really good. They still swivel really good. So just this plastic thing is pretty nasty. And sitting down and designing this with a 3D printer would be a lot of fun. Unfortunately, I'm going to need a big 3D printer to make a replacement part for that, and I would just probably make it out of PLA or something, nothing exotic. But let's throw some cleaner in the seat for a second here and just see what it looks like. We're doing paper towel because I think I've run out of rags. We've had a lot of different work projects going on around here recently, especially for the Christmas display thing. Every year we have a really awesome big Christmas display. If you haven't seen it, last year's was on YouTube, and it's a train set running around Christmas houses with little lights and all kinds of really great things going on. This is just some cheap cleaner from Dollar General. I think it's called Awesome. And you have to kind of watch it. Every once in a while around painted surface or something, this is a benzoline, I think they call it, mixture. And it will, destroy certain things or lift certain things away. Like I've seen it hit paint and stuff and cause a problem. Oh, that seat was pretty clean. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no sponsorship here on any of this. Part of the problem we had today is we had scheduled a film on some new tools that was a complete portable set with pole saw, chainsaw, all that cool stuff, and it was all going to be battery operated. Right now, the manufacturer let me know was that it's still in Anaheim, California at their warehouse. Yeah, it's not here. In fact, they emailed me the other day and asked me, where's the video of our tools? Where's your tools? Yeah. We haven't really had that problem in the past, but I guess, it's one of those things where whatever you do, something can go wrong, and something has gone wrong. I don't think I should even clean that plastic, because that's got to go. It's got to come off of there and be replaced. I could do it in two pieces, but I don't think that would be that great an idea. There's almost no rust on here. Wow, that's unusual. And like I said, the wheels do roll around. That seat still looks pretty, I don't know, it's not red like it should be for Craftsman. It's kind of, I think the sun or something got to it. But, yeah, it's not too bad. Just making a bit of a mess on my table here right now. Shoo, wow. Anyways, that was one yard sale fine. Let me show you what else I found for yard sales. I think I showed you this the other week when we were looking at solar power and how I was able to get through the hurricane with solar power and inverters. I did not have this at the time. Found this at a yard sale for a few dollars. I think I paid $20 for it, which was, looking back, was probably too high. Yeah. This is from Harborfreight. It's the Jupiter. And this one here is a 2,000 watt pure sine wave and runs 4,000 watt surge, but it's from Harborfreight, or well, some people like to call hobo freight. Now I load tested this thing, and I probably should show you the load test, but we'll just show you what's going on here. But this little green indicator right here tells you how much, how much load you've got on this thing, and the green light sort of, comes up and, indicates you got a load you're running. And you got a little on and off switch and USB. That's about it. There isn't a whole lot going on here, but the 2,000 watts with 4,000 surge was like, well, that should, really help me through any hurricanes if I need power. I've got this one for backup because I've only got a small 1,000 watter in the barn. So adding this to the system would mean I can really carry some stuff. Well, I load tested this. Yeah. She was good up to about 900 watts, and then she'd kick off. So maybe we can get some comments about Harborfreight and their they're really cheap inverters. I mean, they're very low price. Biggest problem I've got is this is 12 volt, and I'm wanting to raise my voltage system up to like 48 volt or maybe even higher. So I would need an inverter that runs from, say, 48 volt to 110, something like that, so that I get less current. Then you don't need these great big heavy cables to run these crazy things, and you're actually not draining your batteries all that much and causing a lot of heat because you don't have the current. You have voltage instead of current. And so this might be part of the problem here. I don't know. I tried different connections with the batteries, and I just could not get up above, say, like 900 watts. and this thing would just kick off and say it's overloaded, and this little green light would come up near the top, and that would be like right at the edge of bang, shutting off. So just looking for some comments. The other thing I did was I checked Harbor Freight, and locally at least, and I checked around, these were shown not available. They didn't even have this particular unit for sale anymore. And maybe a number of them came back, returned or something, because they're not functioning the way they're supposed to. I don't know, but really was not impressed at all. And this was like one of those things. I don't generally go to Harbor Freight for an inverter. Yeah. I usually look at big, heavy inverters that are going to do the job, kind of thing. But this seemed like, at a yard sale, was like, you know, for $20, I think I'll take my chances on it. But to be quite honest, it's almost not even worth the 20 because it's almost not usable. A little bit of load and it kicks off. You know, it doesn't seem to be able to even supply 2,000 watts. With the 4,000 watt surge, you would think, you know, that could really, you know, handle something pulling, you know, some power. But I can't even get 1,000 watts without this silly thing kicking out. So just thought might be like an update or something on that. Maybe I'll get some comments about the Jupiter and other people that have had functional problems with these, or you know, I just don't even know what to think, because I'm very disappointed, and at the same time I keep thinking, well, it was Harbor Freight. Okay, stop. We've got an update. I just went online, checked again, and I did find this now. It is now listed at Harbor Freight. It wasn't shown weeks ago, maybe because of the hurricane, they were out of stock. I don't know what was going on, but I could not find this model. It is on there now for $149, and again, for that price, you know you're not buying top-of-line stuff. But it's 2,000 watt. It's actually, just in case somebody makes a comment or something, right on the tag here shows 2,000 watt, 4,000 watt surge. It's, you know, it does say that's what it is. And it's heavy enough, and the size of it and the features, if you look at the face, it's like, yeah, this is definitely that model, just in case someone, for argument's sake. But there was over 1,000 reviews, 4.5 I think it was average for the review. Now I read the first couple pages of reviews, and I'll tell you, this is where things get real scary in this world, because the very first one was 5-star. It was still in the box, he said. He hasn't tried it yet, but he just feels confident to know that he has this on standby if he needs power. I don't know what he's planning on doing, but 5 stars. It was like, oh. And there was a number of those reviews were just like that, where they haven't actually used the unit, but they left 5 stars because, oh, this has got to be a great one for that price, so I'm gonna leave 5 stars. Guys. And girls, you know, like, oh man, oh I know, I'm not supposed to say something about gender now either. You know, anyways, this other reviewer had his on and said he had an 800 watt load, which is, like I said, this will carry 800 watts. And that was doing fine, but it would not run the microwave, which he thought, oh, it must be too heavy. But a 2,000 watt inverter with 4,000 surge should be able to run a microwave. So anyway, as I went through the reviews, they were using lights and light duty things that any inverter would have probably run. Nobody was saying, well, I've load tested it, and you know, at 900 watts it starts to smoke, you know. It's like, so I am really disappointed in not just the product from Harbor Freight, disappointed in Harbor Freight all the time anyways, mostly with a lot of their stuff, but this thing has really opened up a whole new can of worms, because the reviews posted, some of them sound like they were generated by AI, because they were like, it looks really shiny in the box, so I like it, so it's 5 star. It's like, or, you know, and one guy said, I'm going to put it in my RV because I think it's going to be great, so it's 5 star. Some of the reviews were just absolutely, I guess we could do a whole comedy series about posting reviews on something like this, because this was ridiculous, you know. And 1,000 plus, I think it was 1,050, whatever it was, reviews, and all the ones I checked out, all of them had light duty, or you know, they had not load tested this thing to find out, you know, is it going to handle 2,000 watts. This one certainly doesn't do the trick at all. In fact, it kicks out so fast, it's lightning fast. When it goes off quick, like a trigger. So, yeah. Anyways, thank you for watching Coffee Tools. Please like, share, subscribe, ring the notice bell, and don't leave a 5-star review on something that is still in the box. I'm out of here. Over and out.